So I'm going to tell you right now that cation, when you have a cation, it is a, does anyone know? Positive or negative? This is a positively charged ion. Now, easy way to remember this is that when you write cation, what does that T look like? A plus sign, right? So when you write cation, because of that T, you can say, oh, that T looks like a plus sign. So if you write it like this, it's kind of eh. But if you have a cation, just think plus sign, T for plus sign, the way I write T. It's called positive, it's a positive ion for cation. You don't have to memorize that way. The way I memorize it is that way. Okay, anion is an example of a negative ion. Alright, let's talk about how these guys form. If you have a neutral atom, neutral means it has what kind of charge? Neutral charge. So equal positive and equal negative. It's fine. Okay, the way I want you to think about how cations and anions form, think about it this way. So if you have a very negative person, electron in this case, around you, we get very easily influenced by that negativeness, right? So when we're around negative people, we become negative. So same things happen with a neutral atom. If electron gets added to neutral atom, it becomes what? It becomes negative, because remember, negative influences brings out the negative. So this becomes negative and thus become what? Anion or cation? Becomes an anion. So think of it this way. If you have a negative person around you and you just keep finding yourself being down and down and down, it's because a negative influence is influencing yourself. So electron goes to influence a neutral atom to make it a negative atom, which is an anion. Now, let's say this neutral atom says, I don't want to be negative anymore, so decides to kick off an electron. So when you kick off an electron, you're saying, I don't want this negativity. So when you lose that negative person around you, how are you going to become? More positive. So this guy becomes a positive and thus become a cation. Good. So to form an anion, you must add an electron. To form a cation, you need to lose or take away an electron. So number 9, number 9, I'm doing, number 11, sorry. Number 11, it's asking you to figure out what the symbol is for iron 2 ion. Okay, so iron, we have to look it up in the periodic table and say, symbol of iron is what? Fe. Fe is our symbol of iron. So this is this part. Okay, that Roman numeral 2 tells you the charge of that metal ion.
Fe2 plus.
So because that's Roman numeral 2, it's going to say this is Fe2 plus. Or plus 2. Same thing. Okay, so that's how I want you to do that section of the problem. Now, let's go to 19. In this case, it's iron 3 chloride. So what I want to do is do the easy stuff first. Let's just write iron first. What is the symbol of iron?
Fe.
Fe. What is the charge of this iron though? 3. Positive 3. Okay. Well, let's look at chloride. What is the symbol for chloride? Cl. Does anyone know the charge of chloride? Negative 1. Good. So using our crisscross method, what we're going to do is going to take only the number, bring it to the back of chlorine, take only the number 1, bring it to the back of iron. So this 1 travels over here, writes here. This 3 travels over to the back of chlorine and writes this way. When you are done, remember, you're not worried about the charges. They're going to cancel each other out. So when you rewrite it, you end up with Fe Cl3. Notice how there are not charges written next to Feel at the top right corner. Once you do the crisscross, you're not worrying about what's going to be at the top. These numbers, top numbers, go to the bottom, crisscross, lose the positive and negative sign. Does that make sense? Okay, now this